Welcome back to the Hard Knox Garage. Today we're going to be walking you through installation of the MetalCloak frame built front bumper. You might have seen this unbox this the other day. So here is what my Jeep looked like before. We're going to take off the bumper that's on there. Pretty easy, it's about 2 bolts on each side and then 2 underneath. So here you can see me undoing that. And then Phil is gonna come over and we're gonna lift it off together. Don't forget to unhook your winch. You don't want to get this far and then pull it off and realize all your wires are still connected. Next, we're going to loosen up the sway bar bolts so that we can put the adapter plate underneath. Now we're going to start the process of building the MetalCloak bumper. So they're pretty customizable. You can get a stinger, a winch guard, you can opt for none of that. There's high crawler caps, low crawler caps. They're really pretty customizable to your preferences. Here you can see me begin to install the stinger. So here it is sped up a little bit. There's bolts on each side, very easy. It's easier to build it off of the Jeep and then put it on together in one piece. These are the high crawler caps with the aluminum shackles. These are aircraft grade, super easy to install, and like I said, there's a couple different options for those. Next up, we're going to put the winch mounting plate in the fair lead. Also very easy, straightforward, of course torque to spec, and if you're not comfortable doing this, do not attempt, as this is a very important piece of safety equipment. So you want to make sure that you're installing it correctly, and to torque specifications. And of course, super important, we have to take lunch break. Cannot wrench on an empty stomach. So there's that. Today's lunch is pasta salad and a seltzer water. Hurry up, Christy. Okay. Now that we have the MetalCloak bumper built off of the Jeep, we're gonna go ahead and grab a friend, of course. Mine is always Phil. And we're going to put that bumper onto the frame. It should slide right onto your frame horns very easily. It's very heavy, so don't attempt to do this alone. Make sure all the holes will line up. Be careful to make sure that you don't pinch any of your winch wires when putting it on. Sometimes the sway bar will get a little bit in the way if you didn't fully remove it off of your Jeep. Alright, so now that we have it on there, we're going to start bolting everything down. Here you can see me working on the bolts that are underneath the bumper. You want to get everything just started before you start fully tightening everything down. Making sure that the bolts are nice and tight with the impact. Can't go wrong there.
We confirmed this one is...
We'll work on the other side. I usually like to just make sure that I can use a ratchet or a wrench to tighten the bolts down before I use the impact, just so I can assure myself that the bolts are not cross-threaded. Not something you want to do, and those impacts are very strong, and sometimes with older Jeeps, especially mine being 2003, some things are rusty. There's little nuts on the inside of the frame that these bolts will go into, and you want to make sure that you are threading them correctly.
We're still gonna do sway bar.
So now you can see me doing the 2 bolts on the top and onto the other side. MetalCloak will give you all of the hardware, so you do not need to save your stock bolts that come off. These are a little bit longer than the stock, so they can pass through the aluminum shackles. One final push. And last but not least, we're going to hook up our winch again. Make sure you know what you're doing in wiring, disconnect the battery and whatnot. This is instructions for how to do so. Now we're going to hook up the Factor 55 link with the oldest ever not needle nose pliers, whatever they're called. The oldest ever snap ring pliers. Doo doo doo. Sometimes they're a little bit tricky to line up, but there we go. And then we'll suck that back in when the winch is wired back up. Look how pretty. And here it is, the finished product. This MetalCloak bumper has exceeded my expectations and more. The craftsmanship is just simply unmatched. Everything is made right here in the United States of America. I just love the more aggressive look of this bumper. It provides a lot more protection to my Jeep than my other one. It protects the sides of the frame, the winch a little bit better. If you're going to be doing any sort of off-roading, you want to make sure you protect all of those things. You can check out the underneath part. Very simple installation under there. And she is just gorgeous. And here's the final before and after. I am just so in love with how this bumper came out. It really didn't take that long to install. A few hours with a friend is all that you should need to install this bumper. Mainly it's just getting the old one off and putting the new one on. If you're interested in more American-made products from MetalCloak, please visit their website or click the link I leave below. If you liked this video, please subscribe to our channel. Thanks so much for watching.